Right, I'm out at Tollesbury this morning and I'm just going to do a 5-mile loop to take in some of the seawall and marshes. Right, down there is Tollesbury Marina. See, the tide's very much out at the moment. There's the old light ship over there. Well, this is so typical of the Essex marshes here. A better view of the lightship there. If anybody's interested in doing this, it's a mile now since the car park. They lost their bikes down there. A lady's bike, probably been stolen. Oh no, up ahead is a pretty rare sight for the Essex marshes. It's a bench. You know, I think I could just sit down and take in some of this view. Sit down for a little while and take in some of these views. Well, when I started off this morning, the temperature was just a tad above freezing, so I put on 3 layers, but really as soon as I started here I realised that I didn't need them, so I'm going to take a layer off. That feels better. I always remember an old mate telling me that if I was beginning to feel hot and I had a top layer on like that, take it off early, because otherwise you sweat so much. And then when you take it off, the sweat evaporates and you freeze. This is my first substantial jog for about a week and a half. I did a bit too much 2 or 3 weeks ago, and of course that weak knee of mine started playing up, so I rested it, did some walking, did some cycling. I tried it out yesterday on a 2-mile jog around this state and it seemed fine. So while we had some nice weather, I thought it'd be lovely to come out here and run round this. I've been wanting to do this one for some time. Over there in the distance we've got Mersey Island, which reminds me of my aim always to do a complete loop of the island. 2 miles now. So this is going to be into the furthest that I've actually jogged on this knee. Any trouble, of course, I'll just stop and walk. It's a lovely morning. The remains of a pillbox. Yep. Right, some information about the wildlife. Over in the distance there is the hulk of what was Bradwell Nuclear Power Station. I think it was built in around about 1962. In the early 1980s, we took a group of science students there just to have a look around the nuclear power station. They had an open day. I know I've told this story before, so scroll on if you've heard it, but we went round the place and staff were busily showing us all the benefits of the nuclear power station. When we went into the control room, one of the more alert students was looking round, and the guy was talking about what the controls did, and a student noticed that one panel wasn't lit up, was out there, and he said to the guy, well, what does that do? And the guy said, oh, don't worry about that, that's just the core temperature indicator. But he did actually switch it on, and the klaxons all went off in the control room, and he just sort of shrugged it off. So I've never seen so many students suddenly opposed to nuclear power in my life. Right, so Bradwell has been decommissioned for some time now. It's just a hulk. There is a plan, possibly afoot, to build a new nuclear power station there. Right, so the mud flats there provide obviously food for quite a number of birds. A lot of birds come and overwinter here. Oh, I don't believe it. There's another bench there. I'm about halfway round, so I'll stop here and just have a little drink for a while. Just sit and take in some of the views. Looking out ahead of us there, there's, as I've already mentioned, the hulk of Bradwell Nuclear Power Station. I can't actually see it, but over there somewhere is the old chapel of St Peter, which was built in about 653, I think. So 654. So that is on my list of places to go and visit. If ever you're thinking of coming and doing this walk, then springtime and fairly early summer are probably the best, because once you get beyond there, the grass grows quite high and sometimes it's difficult to see where you're putting your feet. We're about 3 miles in now from the car park where I started. Oh, we're getting there. Right, I don't know if you can see it. I'll blow the picture up a little bit so you can. But out there is a very famous old ship. That ship is the Ross Revenge. It's a converted trawler. For those of you who are teenagers in the early 1960s, that was where Radio Caroline, the pirate ship, the pirate radio station, broadcast from. It broadcast further out to sea, but you may be able to see they've kept the mast there. What an improvement that was when the pirate ships began to broadcast. Until then we had to rely on Radio Luxembourg to broadcast pop music, so we'd sit there in the evening or at night time, because reception was better, and try and get a scratchy signal on our little transistor radios. So at that time the BBC provided nothing for the younger generation. There wasn't any Radio 1. There was the BBC Light programme, and we could listen to things as exhilarating as the Billy Cotton Band show. I don't know if that's a better view of the Ross Revenge. We just have to get what we can. The ship is actually red. Right, so just a word of warning, if you do set out on this loop and check it out and it seems there's a path right back across the middle there, there isn't. That's a conservation area with no access. Right, we're coming up 4 miles now and we're going to make a turn here that's going to take us back in the direction of Tollesbury. I do love these marshes, they are beautiful. Yes, I have done a few winter runs out here and believe me, it's pretty bleak.
Take the next right.
Yeah, thank you. Camoot, you've woken up. Okay, so we've got to follow this according to Camoot for about 3/4 of a mile. There, very muddy along here. Assume we've got to go straight over. I am reassured that we do seem to be heading into civilization a bit more. There's some houses over there. Oh, we've emerged onto a road, Mel Road, I think he said. We've got round about 5 miles come up now. Oh, there's a 30-mile-an-hour sign, so definitely now back in Tollesbury. Okay, back at the free car park off Woodrolf Road, Tollesbury. My watch says 5.8 miles, but take that as being about 5.3. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please think about subscribing if you haven't already done so. And until I see you again, look after yourselves, take care, all the best, and bye for now.